Hi, our last podcast for Chapter 16 deals with inventory management. So inventory is the product that we've held for resale to our customers, and inventory mismanagement can ruin a company. If we're tying up a bunch of cash in inventory, we always have the wrong inventory on hand, so we're missing out on sales. Inventory management is very critical. The finance department, so how it relates to finance, only has oversight of the responsibility. And so actually a lot of the things we're going to talk about in this little podcast are really dealt more in an operations management course. If you've had a chance to take operations management, you've probably heard about these terms and learned about it actually in more detail than we're going to go into here. Otherwise, this will be your introduction to it, and when you take operations management, you'll know more about it. So the finance department monitors lost or obsolete inventory and requires periodic physical inventory counts. So there are benefits and costs to carrying enough inventory. The costs are listed here. You want to be familiar with those. What's the interest or financing costs, storage, security, taxes, insurance, all those types of things. The benefits, of course, is that it reduces stockouts and back orders. It makes our operations run smoother and makes our customers happy because we always have the products they need, and it increases sales. So inventory management is the overall way that a company controls its inventory and its cost. And so we try to define acceptable levels of operating efficiency that relate to how much inventory we're going to carry on hand. And we want to do that by minimizing our inventory costs. One of the ways that we do this is with our economic order quantity model, the EOQ model. So the purpose of the EOQ model is to minimize the ordering and carrying costs of inventory. And I'm going to explain this to you a little bit. So the EOQ is 2 times the fixed cost per order times annual demand. So notice, by the way, that fixed cost per order and annual demand, since they're on numerators, they would increase the economic order quantity. And we divide that by our annual carrying cost per unit. So carrying cost per unit, since it's a denominator, would reduce our EOQ. So you can see here that our total inventory cost then is our carrying cost plus our ordering costs. And you can sort of see graphically how that works together. Some terms: safety stock. This is the additional inventory that we want to carry at all times that we have in case our normal working stock runs out. Quantity on hand diminishes until the reorder point is reached, so we're reducing a quantity on hand until it triggers a reorder. And then ordering lead time, this is the amount of time it's going to take from the time the order is issued to the time the products arrive. And again, all of those things are a component of operations management. What is the optimal time to reorder? How do we minimize the lead time? If we include safety stock, it doesn't change our EOQ model. There is a cost trade-off, though, with safety stock. If we are going to carry more inventory, that's going to lead to less production delays and fewer missed sales, but it increases the cost of carrying our inventory. Tracking inventory, we sometimes apply an ABC system, and what it does is it places tighter controls over products that are more costly or valuable. So A items are expensive or critical items, B are moderate value, cheap, C are cheap and plentiful. And you can understand that, right? We would want to have different controls over the A type items instead of the C type items. Finally, just-in-time inventory, JIT. The purpose of just-in-time is to eliminate manufacturing inventory by pushing it back to the suppliers. The idea is, if I'm manufacturing stuff and I need parts A, B, and C, I want, just as I take the last part A, the vendor is replacing that, so I always have just what I need. and we push that back. And so the vendor does the same thing. When they're producing that part A, you know, they want to have the components of that just as they need it. So we're delivering goods just in time to use them for production. Large manufacturers work with their vendors to do this. Dell Computers is a very strong component of just-in-time inventory. In fact, at Dell's primary manufacturing, a lot of their key vendors will have they've included their manufacturing sites right there with Dell, so they can just work together to produce those things. Alright, so that kind of concludes our overview. I didn't go into much detail on some of those things. It's, again, how we're going to use it in this class is basically just definitional.